Hi, I'm Nora Shea.
And I'm Angel Rivera.
We're from Forest Grove Middle School, and we're in a program called Earth Secret and High Tech. Earth Secret and High Tech is an after-school group that investigates environmental and technology issues.
Our focus this year is science in our community. Today we hope to raise awareness of multiple sclerosis. On
Saturday, April 8th, Earth Secret and High Tech students from Forest Grove and members of our community will walk to raise awareness for multiple sclerosis.
Today we are joined by our guest, Ms. Nicole Manfredo, who will share her experience with multiple sclerosis. In her interview will be Ms. Enya Castillo, who has known Ms. Manfredo for 11 years. Ms. Nima Patel is assisting as a support interviewer.
Ms. Michaela Rickards, the daughter of Ms. Manfredo, will be interviewed by Ms. Jordan Conrad.
Please watch this brief video clip from the National MS Society titled, What is MS?
Multiple sclerosis is a disease that impacts the brain and spinal cord, which make up the central nervous system that controls everything we do, whether it's taking a physical step or solving a complex problem. The exact cause of MS is unknown, but we do know that something triggers the immune system to attack the brain and spinal cord. The resulting damage to myelin that insulates wire-like nerve fibers is a disruption of signals to and from the brain. This interruption of communication signals causes unpredictable symptoms such as numbness, tingling, mood changes, memory problems, pain, fatigue, blindness, or paralysis. Everyone's experience with MS is different, and these losses may be temporary or long-lasting. Most people initially have relapsing remitting MS, where they experience attacks of new symptoms followed by periods of time when those symptoms go away partially or completely. Others experience gradual and ongoing loss of function without distinct attacks, which is known as progressive MS. MS can be difficult to diagnose, but once a diagnosis is confirmed by a neurologist who is knowledgeable about MS, there are disease-modifying therapies for reducing attacks and slowing down the damage for those with relapsing MS. Growing evidence suggests that early and ongoing treatment with a disease-modifying therapy is an important defense against future attacks. There are also treatment strategies to address some MS symptoms. There is no therapy yet that can slow down or stop progressive MS. Worldwide research is accelerating the discovery of how to slow down or even stop progressive MS, how to repair nervous system damage and restore function, wellness strategies such as exercise and diet that can help people with MS to live their best lives, and the exact cause of MS so that it may be prevented for future generations. To learn more about multiple sclerosis, connect with others to drive research for a cure, and to address the challenges of everyone affected by MS, visit nationalmssociety.org or call 1-800-344-4867.
Multiple sclerosis stops people from moving. Walking is even a struggle and simple tasks are hard to do. Now what if you could feel what it's like to have MS? The National Multiple Sclerosis Society has created activities for groups that simulate somewhat the symptoms people with MS experience. This activity is called Try on MS. Sage and Haley will experience difficulty walking. Sage and Haley will walk on a cushion to experience being off balance. Go ahead, Haley. Walking on the memory foam pillow signifies how difficult it is for people with MS to walk around every day. This makes you feel like you're walking on uneven ground and you feel off balance. How does walking on the pillow make you feel?
It makes me feel like I'm going to fall to the right.
Walking unevenly was a struggle and very uncomfortable.
Thank you, Sage and Haley. Trying to unbutton a shirt with rubber gloves signifies the struggle of doing daily tasks with multiple sclerosis. Daily tasks that once routine and easy become challenging and difficult. Let's welcome Kelvin and Evan to help us with this simulation. Go ahead. Now that you have tried to unbutton the shirt with the rubber gloves, how do you feel about doing this? Is it difficult to perform these tasks day to day?
Trying to unbutton the shirt with the rubber gloves is very uncomfortable and awkward.
Trying to unbutton the shirt with rubber gloves is very difficult and hard to perform. I don't understand how people with MS can do this in their everyday life.
Thank you, Evan and Kelvin. Trying to walk with flippers shows how hard it is to walk with multiple sclerosis. It makes you feel like you're unbalanced and have less control of what you're trying to do. Walking is easy, but trying to walk with flippers makes a simple task difficult. Let's welcome Lily and Raina to help us with this simulation. Go ahead, guys. Now that you've walked around with the flippers on, how does it make you feel? Is it hard to walk on a solid ground with the flippers? How do you feel while walking?
It felt complicated and made every step feel heavy.
What I noticed from walking with the flippers is that it felt very awkward. Simply walking and then walking with the flippers gave me a different experience than I thought it would.
Thank you, Raina and Lily.
Hi, I'm Xenia Castillo and I'll be interviewing Ms. Nicole Manfredo. When were you diagnosed with multiple sclerosis?
I was finally diagnosed in 2010, but it has been confirmed by 4 separate MS specialists that I actually did have it at the age of 17, so I actually had it for 20 years before they diagnosed it properly.
What are some treatments you have had for MS?
I have done the injections, I have done a couple of the pills, and I've also done the IV steroids.
What are some ways MS has affected your life?
My hands and arms don't work so well anymore, so simple tasks like writing are difficult. Also, I no longer walk. My legs don't tolerate the movement and the weight of it.
What are some accommodations your family has made?
At home, they've actually been very good. We've had to rearrange furniture. We've actually had to move a couple times because I couldn't do stairs anymore. We had to have a ramp put on our home. And you know, as far as family outside of our home, I am not able to get into anybody else's homes. So we have all of the holidays and birthdays at our home, and my family just comes there so that I'm able to participate in everything.
How hard was it to raise a child while having MS?
In the beginning, it was very difficult. She was younger. She didn't understand what was happening to me. She didn't understand why she couldn't go out and play because she had to help me put my shoes on or things like that. As she got older, it got a little bit easier because she did understand. She was much more helpful, and having a young lady such as Michaela as my daughter, she has made it much easier for me to be a good mother.
Has MS given you any advantages?
Yep, it's actually made me stronger. It's made me realize what I am capable of. It's made me appreciate the little things, and I don't take advantage of, you know, the things that, you know, I used to think, okay, walking was easy, picking up a piece of paper was easy. It's not so easy anymore. So now I really appreciate those little things that I can do.
How do you feel every morning when you wake up?
It takes me about an hour to be able to physically move any part of my body. After that, it takes about another hour before I can actually get dressed and actually do something productive. And that's on a good day.
Have you ever tried to walk after doctors say you couldn't?
I actually walked for a long time after my doctors told me I shouldn't walk. My wheelchair stayed in my living room for about 6 months after my doctors had ordered it. When I finally started using the wheelchair, I still walked with a walker. But you know, now I've accepted the wheelchair. I do still walk at home a little bit with a walker, but I will not walk outside. It's not safe.
What does Murray, your service dog, do for you?
Murray actually does several things for me. He's been exceptional in that area. He can turn my lights on and off. He can open and close doors with adaptions that we've made. Anything that I drop on the floor, he'll pick up for me. He can go get the phone for me if I need it. He can pick up remotes for me. And he can also go to the refrigerator and open it and get things that I need out of it and bring it to me.
Is it hard to see quote-unquote normal families?
I don't really know what a normal family is. I consider it to be a family that does things together, that spends time together, that enjoys, doing things together. And I think for us, we do all the things that, we would want to do as a family. We've just made some changes so that I can participate in those things. And if there's anything that I can't do with them, I still go and I still am a part of it just by being there and watching them being able to do it. So I think, as far as I'm concerned, we're just as normal as anybody else.
Thank you for sharing with us, Nicole. Our interviews will continue with Michaela Rickers and Jordan Conrad.
Hi, I'm Jordan Conrad, and I will be interviewing Miss Michaela Rickards. How did you feel when you found out that your mom had MS?
I was very young at the time, so I didn't really understand what was going to happen.
How old were you when you and your mom found out about having MS?
I was about 6 or 7 when I found out.
How have you been affected by your mother having MS?
I've had to grow up past my age and do things that normal people, normal 12 and 13-year-olds wouldn't have to do.
What is it like living with someone who has MS?
When I was little, it was harder because I didn't understand why I would have to help her with easy tasks, but now I kind of understand more.
How does it feel to be an only child and helping your mom with MS?
Again, when I was little, it was harder because again, I didn't understand more, but now I do, and I can easily help out more.
How have you adjusted to not being able to have your mother's help at times?
I've had to grow up past my age and do things alone sometimes, or do things by myself or go off by myself.
How have you helped your mother stay optimistic and positive?
When she's upset or she thinks it's her fault that she can't do things, I reassure her that it's not.
Are you always scared about what will happen next?
Not now, because we kind of know what direction she's going in. When I was little, though, I did.
Have your mom having MS made any friendships difficult or affected them in any way?
I haven't lost any friendships, but they have gone mad because I've had to cancel going to birthday parties or cancel sleepovers at the last minute.
Have other people made this experience with MS hard for you?
Family members who don't really understand or tell her that she's faking or something.
Thank you, Michaela, for sharing with us.
Multiple sclerosis pulls us away from our lives. MS disconnects us from one another. MS destroys connections.
So it's only fitting that our connections would be its greatest enemy.
What if we could come together, even for one day a year, to show the power of our connections? At Walk MS, our connections become more powerful than the connections that MS destroys.
Walking with my team reminds me how powerful I can be. My family and friends join me at Walk MS to show me love,
to support me and who I am,
to surround me with their determination,
and share my belief that working together, the problems of MS can be solved. The money we raise helps make sure there's somebody there to answer my questions about MS 24/7 and ensure there's financial support to deal with the havoc that MS causes. My network helps me raise money to speed new treatments for those living with MS.
connect, celebrate,
change lives.
Walk MS is where we connect.
Register today at walkms.org.
Thank you again for your time, Nicole and Michaela. Both of your individual experiences really shine a light on what it's like to live with multiple sclerosis, or to have a loved one struggle with the symptoms of this disease. MS continues to influence the lives of people every day, which is why it's so important for us to raise awareness of this disease.
Saturday, April 8th, Earth Secret and high-tech students from Forest Grove and members of our community will walk to raise awareness for MS. We are asking now for you to please help us in any way you can.
There are 3 ways you can help us. Number 1, share the information from this documentary with family and friends. It will be airing on WEA-TV 11, channel 191. 2, please donate to MS. Donations can be made directly by visiting walkms:/Worcester 2017 at nationalmssociety.org, and the team name for Ms. Nicole Manfredo is Walk with Wheels. Lastly, join us on April 8th for the walk. You can sign up for the walk by visiting walkms:/Worcester 2017 at nationalmssociety.org and sign up to join Ms. Manfredo's team, Walk with Wheels. Thank you for helping us to make a difference with science in our community and beyond.
I noticed you have Murray with you. How does he help you, and what are some things he can do?
Actually, let me show you just a couple of things I can show you. Murray, stand. Wait. Fetch. Fetch. Hold. Give. Good boy. I tell him to hold so that I can get my hand under it and get a good grasp on it, because if he lets it go before I do, then he's going to have to get it again. One of the other helpful things when we're out, if for some reason I drop his leash, he doesn't ever leave my side, but I can't reach the ground. Murray, leash. Give. Good boy. And then lastly, just basically when we are out in public, he is supposed to be in a certain position. And so if he's for some reason not, if he's doing another task, Murray, position. Down. Good boy. Thank you. Wow. Good boy. Ready, Murray? Big wave, goodbye. Do a big one, big wave. There you go. Good boy.